What was your Superman moment when you realized not only do I have a talent, but
exactly
now I'm going to make this thing get us up out of here?
So, very interesting. So when I told you I was, thank God, very intelligent. My mom was very strict about that. You know, she was very strict. Like, you know, she was one of those moms that, hey, we all did what we shouldn't have been doing when we was in school. You're not about to be that. You're not about to do that. You're going to bring in A's, and if you don't bring in the A, we need to talk. And so I was that. So I was that kid. So with that said, when she knew that I was rapping, she would be like, it would be like when you ever heard when Kyrie talk about when he was watching and when he would watch the and one tapes as a kid, he said his daddy would come back there and see him watching them and be like, you better not bring that to practice. That ain't real basketball. You better,
right.
So my mama hear me rapping and be like, that's nice and cute, but you're gonna be a lawyer or you're gonna be a doctor. So you can stop thinking that you're gonna be that's gonna be your future.
Tradition.
You know, and so exactly. And so she would literally find a folder full of raps, bro, and throw it away.
Wow.
Man, yeah, she threw it away. So that was a turning point though. That was a turning point when I was about 12. When I was 12. And so my stepfather at the time, who I consider my father, his name Rabbit, he passed. So Rabbit, he had homeboys that actually, so this was the moment where the trend was all the local companies from certain cities was finally signing major deals.
Yeah.
Remember that trend? And Master P had signed already. Yeah. And so, you know, so we was Cash Money was up next. I wasn't with them yet. So my father Rabbit had homeboys from his hood, and they had a company called Rough Era Records. Okay. They had already signed. They signed with whoever, a major. And so, you know, the whole city had already knew that Rough Era signed. So my mom was like, you know, if you're going to rap, you need to, she was like, you know, Rabbit, go take you over there by Rough Era and see what they think about it, you know. And so he brought me over there. So he brought me over there by his friends. They checked the music out. Now, mind you, I told you Cash Money been a staple in New Orleans. So when they listened to the music, I would never forget this. They said, man, it was like, man, I was 11. And so they this is, and the music, I was on a real beat. This was real recorded. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all that. My dad had paid $700 to give me some studio. Rabbit had paid $700 to give me studio time to get a beat.
Daddy?
He got a beat, got me studio time, and I put the verse down, put 3 verses down in the hook. He played that for them. They were like, man, he crazy. They were like, if we sign him, he gonna be our first artist we putting out. It was like, but they told me, it was like, but Rabbit, man, if he went to Cash Money, he'll be so perfect for them. It was like, he got their sound, he's everything about them. And he was like, if they missing anything, it was like looking at a basketball team that just lost or something. He was like, if they missing anything, they need him. And so Cash Money always had a sound. Just like Master P got his own, No Limit got their own sound. We always had our sound, that Wody and all that Ben Now stuff. So that was always a sound. So I guess when they heard the verses, I think I'm on a song saying Wody. I'm saying all kind of Cash Money references. And so they was like, man, he perfect, but for Cash Money. And so when we got back in the truck, before Rabbit, we sit down in the truck before he even start the truck. He said, he looked at me in the passenger seat. We listened to the song, as a matter of fact. He put the tape in. A tape.
Did you like it? Did you like
what?
it? What? All in.
By the way, kids, it was a tape. It's this thing that you actually put in the car. A car came with it.
Came with a ribbon that went around the circus?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right,
so we put the tape in. The song go off. He look at me. He like, man. He like, say, bro, you already know. He like, man, I would love to see you. Like, you already know. I would love to see you over there with Cash. I know that's what you want. I know you want to be over there with Cash Money. Like, but your mom ain't gonna let you do it. So my mom ain't want me to go with Cash Money because she went to school with Baby.
Oh, she know what?
She went to high school with Baby, and Baby from the streets. You know,
yeah, she know where it all goes
he
down.
OG. Yeah, he OG.
Yeah.
So she like, you know, to her, it wasn't saying my son is going with baby, this mogul, this mogul who will soon be a mogul. You know, it was like, no, my son going with Lil Brian, who I went to school with.
Right.
If you know what I mean? And so she was like, yeah, so she was like, you ain't about to, I'm not about to put your future in. And so that going back to that conversation in the truck, he said, listen, you know what you got to do. I said, all right. And he said, you got to bring in straight A's from this point on. He was like, you cannot. I was like, are you serious? I was like, that's like telling me I got to make sure I put water in the tub before I take a bath. You know? I was like, all I do is bring in A's.
That's
he was
what
like,
I do.
He was like, I already know. So listen. He was like, so he picked up the cell phone, flip phone, flipped it, called her, said, say, babe. She was like, yeah, how it went. He said, they loved him. They loved it, babe. They say they ready, but guess what? She said, what? He said, he going with Cash Money. He going with Baby and them. She said, what? he said, look, babe. They say he perfect. They say they'll sign him right now. But if he go to Cash Money, he'll be the best thing they ever had. And she said, that's what they said? He said, that's what they said. She said, what you think? I think he should be with Cash Money, babe. I think that's what he should do. She said, well, he better make sure them grades is right.
We just gave $700.
I was like, what the? So once I'm sitting there quiet, you know, because she don't know I'm sitting there like, bro, I done went almost 5-6 years straight asking this woman, can I be with Babe Cash Money? And no. I was like, man, this. You know that man come through. That man come through.
Hey, honey.
Baby. I say he gonna be with Cash Money. She said, okay, tell him he better have them grades right. I said when he hung up the phone, we was like, and so I called Baby right there. She said, yeah. He was like, what? I said, she said, yeah. She said, I gonna be with y'all. The rest is history.
The rest is
That was my
history.
moment, though. That moment right there was my Superman moment. I must put on this cape because I had to put it on 2 ways. I had to make sure I keep them A's coming. Facts. That was the first. I had to be Superman in that way first if I wanted anything else to happen. And then I had to make sure I take care of the music part, so therefore my mom could know that what you're doing is worth doing.
Oh, I love it.
You feel what I'm saying? So I had to make sure that what she heard, anytime she heard that her son is on a song, I had to make sure that it wasn't something popcorn, something ABC. I had to make sure it was meaningful. So therefore she could be like, okay, you're doing something. And
doing it.
I had to throw the cape on.
Man, threw that cape on, man, for real. And moms threw away your original masters. You know, like, no matter what you've been through, those original raps, those are your original masters. Mama got them.
All the way. Threw them all the way. She didn't care about none of that.
And you know what's crazy? Hearing that story and the moment when your father is on the phone talking to your mom and you're quiet. Now, think about it. You're young, so obviously, how far can you flex your influence? You're at the mercy of whatever they decide.
Whatever they decide, yeah.
Yeah, but you also know you're cooking it up in your brain. Wait a minute. Pops done gave $700, which is a huge investment, especially at that time.
That was $700,000 at that time.
Thank you. In Holly Grove, that's $7 million.
What?
And he gave that money for you. So what comes from that, in that quiet moment to me, is also the switch of like, wow, I got talent, but this investment means I got a huge responsibility.